So it's been about a month since the release of iOS 17, and I've been using it since then. And just like every year, there are many small improvements and changes throughout the UI here and there, but there are also some new big features that many people are going to love and actually want to use every single day. So let's talk about them. The first one is probably my favorite one. And basically the idea is that when your phone is left to charge somewhere in the corner of the room, it's essentially useless for that time. But now all you have to do is set your phone to charge and just rotate it to a horizontal orientation. And this new UI will pop up. Apple calls it standby, and I really like it. It can show you a bunch of little things, like here it's showing me the time and I can choose different clock styles. If I swipe to the right, there's a slideshow of images from an album that I get to choose. If I swipe to the right one more time, I've got various widgets here to show me all sorts of useful information at a glance. And I can customize this as well as all the other pages to a certain extent. But probably the coolest thing within this feature is when you turn off the lights and everything turns red. Kind of like the night mode on the Apple Watch Ultra, which makes this feature perfect for day and night use. Now, when I saw this for the first time watching the Apple event, it instantly reminded me of the Google Home hubs that Google makes. And it turns out I wasn't wrong, because in this state, you can totally use your phone like a smart home display, because you've got access to things like the Apple Home app to control any smart home devices you may have, and Siri to complete the whole smart home speaker or display-like experience. The only downside, I guess, with this feature is that you almost need some sort of a stand to charge your phone on. I mean, you can totally lean your phone against something because it works with wired charging as well, but it's not that convenient. The stand I'm using is from Banks and it works very well. I'll link it below and some other cheaper options as well. You might want to pick one up because I actually find myself using this feature. But the second thing most people are going to love about iOS 17 is the new live voicemail feature. So let's say you're getting a call from someone you don't know. You almost never want to pick up the phone, right? But at the same time, you don't want to miss it in case it's something important. Or maybe it's someone you know just calling from a different number in an emergency or something. Well, now you can just tap this button that says voicemail and
after the tone, please say why you're calling. The person you're trying to reach might pick up.
Send me an iPhone. You can see exactly what they're saying in real time. And if you realize that it's important, you can just pick up the call and talk to them. This is so much better than awkwardly trying to figure out who it is you're talking to when you don't have the number saved, and potentially making it easier to identify any scam calls without ever picking up the phone. And speaking of things that make your life easier, Squarespace is also one of them, as it allows you to make beautiful and professional looking websites thanks to a bunch of award-winning templates you've got to get your site up and running in literally hours. You can customize everything however you'd like, and it looks good on every device. You can also set up an online store with flexible payment options and make checkout seamless for your customers, or even have a membership that people can sign up for. And believe me, everything is really easy to use and understand, even for someone using it for the first time. But if you do get stuck, they have 24/7 customer service, so you can always ask for help. It's easily one of the best and one of the most well-known all-in-one website building platforms out there. So if you want to get started, visit squarespace.com/spixel and get 10% off your first purchase. And thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Okay, the next new feature in iOS 17 is also in the phone app, and it's called contact posters. They're basically these cool full screen images that you can set up for yourself that show up every time you call another person with also an iPhone. It's a way to better express yourself and add a bit more personality to how your contact shows up in someone else's phone. And it's really easy to set up. It's similar to customizing a lock screen. You choose a photo, a font for your name, the weight for the font, and maybe a different color for it. And once you have it set up, you'll be using it almost every single time you call someone. And you can of course choose who gets to see it and who doesn't. But the reason why I like this feature is because it makes something as boring and as simple as context to something a bit more interesting. Next, I would like to thank Apple for finally making widgets interactive. Thank you, Apple. Thank you. Because this is only a good thing, because now you can do certain tasks without ever opening the app, which can significantly speed up the process of doing daily repetitive tasks like turning on a smart light bulb from your phone, or opening the garage every time you get home, or even things like playing and pausing music. You just tap the widget and you're done, instead of having to open the app every time. This is also one of the reasons why I'm now finally starting to use widgets, because before I had zero widgets on my main home screen pages. I just never found them all that useful. Lastly, our good old friend Siri is also getting updated. No, it's not smarter, still just as dumb as it was before, but
that's not very nice.
Well, the truth hurts sometimes. But anyways, the new feature is that now you can trigger it by just saying Siri. Siri, Siri. You can still say the whole thing, hey Siri, but you don't have to. Plus, you can continue to talk to it without having to say Siri over and over again. Now, there are also some other things that are new and improved in iOS 17, but these are some of the ones that I found to be the most important. So if you enjoyed watching, consider subscribing, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you later.